We're live.
It says it's starting. I don't know if we're there yet, but it's getting close. We are now live. This is Pat and John Licata with Licata Live. Pat
Hello,
told
everyone.
Pat told me early that she was going to be funny, and I told her don't even try because she's not funny at all. We got Keith looking through the window, making faces at us. That's funny enough, but Pat's not known for her hilarity. Keith is, of course, and certainly I am a little better than Pat. It's not much, but great to have Pat. Pat's birthday is Patricia. You know, Pat is Patricia on March 17th, so she's
Friday.
a St. Patrick's Day baby. She doesn't know this yet, but I'm taking her out to a nice dinner at my favorite place. Of course, my favorite place.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
It's also her favorite place.
Which is your favorite place? Where are we going?
Well, I like the Inn at Willow Grove. Oh, look at that face. Jesus Christ. Just, Pat was born with lemons in her mouth. Just,
I'm sorry. I might cough. I might sneeze, and I can't hear. We had our grandkids.
if she was a dog, we'd probably shoot her.
Hey, we had our grandkids with us this weekend.
A horse.
What?
Not a dog. I think a horse.
Oh, jeez. And anyway, the 1-year-old River, who was so cute. Anyway, she had a cold, and so guess what? Yep.
Yep, River. It reminds me a lot like me, except she's a girl. She looks a little like me. Doesn't have the Italian nose though. Doesn't quite.
No,
have the
she
nose.
does not have an Italian nose, but she's really cute.
So I just, going to give some insight on the market, and this is national stuff. So
I've got some regional, so
yep.
you can
So
go over
Pat will
national
focus
and I'll
on the
go
region.
regional.
I'll focus on the national. And the reality is, real estate is localized, and
Yeah, I've got local too.
but mortgage rates are higher, and they certainly dented home buyer settlement in February. However, the inventory of homes across the country and locally remains very, very low. So
Gotta move over this way.
suggesting that the peak of home pricing is still limited. In fact, most forecasters expect single-digit appreciation in 2023. Of course, we're in the early March, mid-March right now.
Well, that's
Still,
more normalized.
still expecting a moderate appreciation. But the combination of stronger than expected job reports by the Fed and Powell's are strangely hawkish, and it resulted in a slight increase of interest rates, which unfortunately, hurts us a bit. But
Well, you know what, though? Let's talk about interest rates for a second, because when we purchased our first home, I think our interest rate was 12.5%.
yeah, but Pat, a lot of these buyers, if you're 40 and younger, all you know is what you know, and all you know
That's
is
what the
3%.
point I was going to make is we have a generation really of buyers,
probably two
maybe
generations.
2 generations of buyers who have never seen double-digit interest rates and have, no conception of what it was like when we purchased. I mean, your payment was tremendous because
Yeah,
of
but
the interest
the
rate.
house prices were a lot lower. We bought our first house
They were.
at 12%, and I think it was a $53,000 home,
Correct.
which now is probably worth. This is in Kieseltown. It's
Hooterville.
not the edge of the world, but pretty close to it, down near Harrisonburg.
Yep.
That same home now is probably $350,000.
Right.
But people were expecting price drops, and through the recent data shows by Moody says that prices have dropped less than 1%. The Federal Home Loan Finance Corporation, which is a government agency, their data says they've dropped about 1.6%. And Case Schuler, who's an independent outside firm, says it's about 2.7%. So that runs from 1 to 2.7. It's not significant.
Right.
It's not significant. So the good news is that if you're an owner, you haven't seen what people were terribly worried about. And if you're a buyer, we're not having a crazy appreciation where it was, 6 months later, it's just out of your price
Right.
range. So all that stuff is good. The other thing that on a national level that we found is that over the last year and a half across the country, average average home prices across the country have gone up about 13%. All really good stuff. Um, on the flip side, and this adds to some inventory, days on market is taking longer. So if you are putting your house on the market, it's going to take 30, 40 days. It's not atypical.
As a matter of fact, in our region, which is the Mid Atlantic region, the average days on the market for February was 39 days. Back in February of 2022, so a year ago, it was 30 days. So you can see that it is climbing somewhat.
And we were
Definitely
having
has.
here in our market areas that we sell, Northern Virginia here into Northern Central Virginia, Fredericksburg, Culpeper, and slightly south. I mean, you put a house on the market Thursday and it'd have multiple offers by
Sunday.
Monday or Tuesday, be under contract. Is that happening? It is still happening a little bit, but we're not getting 39 offers on a property.
No, and I think it's also certain price ranges where it's seen more than others in certain areas.
Yeah, I mean,
It's not consistent everywhere by any
the
means.
higher price points, are going to take a little bit longer. The investor type homes, the lower price points, they're going to sell. They're going to sell quicker. So
Correct.
if you're a first time home buyer, you're a young couple, young professionals getting started. Um, there are some advantages today that you didn't have a year ago.
Absolutely. And if we remember, I think it was right when interest rates started rising. What was the slogan? Marry the house and date the rate. And there is a cost to refinance. However, if it's the house you want at a price that's right and you can afford the rate, I mean, I can just speak specifically about us. I mean, every time we bought a new home as we were gaining traction in our careers at the time, we always felt like, oh my gosh, this is so much money. But within a few years, then it really wasn't so much money because of your positions, your job. You start doing better financially.
Man, I wish we had that $319,000 Center Hall Colonial on Galesbury Lane in Chantilly right now.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah, yeah. But
So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about a little bit, and I alluded to it earlier, is the Mid Atlantic region. Just give you some idea of what's going on in our region. Um, the average days on the market, as I mentioned, for February was 39. We are based in Locust Grove, Virginia, so give you an idea of what's going on specifically in Lake of the Woods, directly across from us. The average days on the market in Lake of the Woods in February was 48, so a little bit higher than the Mid Atlantic region. However, Lake of the Woods is faring better in the average sold to original list price ratio, which is something we talk about often. So, if somebody puts their house on the market for 300,000, does it sell at 300 or a percentage below? So that's what that means. In Lake of the Woods, it was 98.2% for February, and in the Mid Atlantic region, it was 97.6. So, active listings, let's talk about that. And everything is down over last month as well as over last year. So, new listings are down, new pendings or homes that are under contract are down, And closed sales are also down.
Yeah, well,
So,
normally we'd be
but that's
selling.
normal though,
Uh,
right? It's
it,
a seasonal market.
it's a seasonal market. We are seeing activity. We're selling a couple homes a week. We like to sell 4 homes a week, 3 or 4 homes a week, but we're seeing a couple homes a
Excuse
week.
me.
But we're seeing more activity.
We
And
are.
generally, if there's activity today, 30 to 45 days, you see sales.
That's
Um,
correct.
so that's a good point. But just the reality of your situation, whether you're in Vienna, whether you're in Leesburg, whether you're in Louisa, whether you're in Orange or Culpeper or Fredericksburg, as long as there's a shortage of homes on the market, which there is, you're not going to see major price declines. Um, but what we're hearing is we'll see a 3 or 4% increase
Hmm.
over the course of the year, which is history across
Yes.
the country, really. Unless
Hmm.
you're in certain areas. And in our area in particular, when I say our area, the greater Washington area, we're somewhat protected and insulated because, and I've said this before, when the Democrats are in power, they talk about smaller government, but it gets bigger. When the Republicans are in charge, they talk about it and it gets bigger. Money is being spent in our region,
That
and
is
it's going
true.
to continue to be
And
spent.
speaking of that, that's interesting because here's another stat of our region. Um, the median sold price is up 2.9% over last February of last year and 2.8% over last month. So that's interesting. Median sold price is increasing.
So anyway, that's Licata Live this week. We have a birthday to celebrate. Pat's
We just
birthday.
had one in
Yeah,
February.
my birthday. I'm now on Medicare.
You're
I'm
officially
going to tell
old.
everyone Pat's older than me. She's really not.
I'm
But
not.
I tell everybody she's older
But
than
you're
me.
officially old now.
Hey, I'm in
65.
middle age. Because I'm going to live to be about 120, so I figure I'm around middle
Yeah,
age.
I think you're right.
Yeah. Anyway,
All right. Thank you guys.
thank you. Great seeing y'all.
Bye.